The June 27th WWE Smackdown was the final 3-hour Smackdown for a while. Let's hope that this Assorted Thoughts takes significantly less time. Welcome to Silo Voice Wrestling on YouTube and the Silo Voice Wrestling podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jason C. McLean. I'm recording this Tuesday, July 1st. It's just after 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, I've seen SmackDown, I've seen Night of Champions, and I've seen Raw. And I'm going to record all these videos in sequence. I'm going to do this down and dirty really quick, at least for this one. Don't want to spend too much time, but I'm just going to pick out the highlights. After all, it's Assorted Thoughts. And what caught my attention? Well, of course, let's talk about Punk Life, the doctor of punkonomics, CM Punk, channeling his inner John Cena from 20 years ago. Well, Cena stole his promo. His pipe bomb, so he stole Cena's doctor of thugonomics. He was the doctor of punkonomics. Now, would CM Punk do well in an actual rap battle? Absolutely not, especially with this. He flubbed some lines. The bars weren't all that great. I did like the one about The Undertaker. The Kendrick Drake thing at the end was okay. And the "You'll Always Be the Marine" line was good as well, too. Yeah. But you know what? That wasn't the point. Was this a fun, silly wrestling promo that made sense in the context of the feud? Absolutely. And you know what? I laughed just at the whole concept of it. I thought this was great. Yeah, it was cheesy. And by recording this a few days late, I had a chance to look online and see what other people thought. And by and large, a lot of them didn't like it. But you know what? It's cheesy, it's corny, and I don't think it was as good as Cena's version of the pipe bomb, but it was a good retort. It was lighthearted, and it was a really fun part of this feud. And I'm glad he did it. And you know what? I enjoyed watching it. And for me, when it comes to wrestling promos, that's the most important thing. And it definitely was creative, even if maybe the execution wasn't the best. But it was a really fun way to end the show. Overall, this show looked big, big high-tech production until, of course, it didn't. I was watching live on Netflix because I'm in Canada in the afternoon, and the feed simply cut out for like 40 minutes right in the middle of the Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton promo. And then they came back with Michael Cole making a joke about, sorry, you have to see Wade Barrett is the first thing you come back to. And then right into Solo Sikoa talking to, I keep saying Jeff Cobb, JC Mateo. And then it went right to commercial. The funniest thing is it took me a while to actually see that promo. I saw the end of that promo on YouTube because for the USA broadcast at night in the States, what they did was apparently the power went out everywhere. So they actually cut in fan footage, or what looked like fan footage. Or maybe they just got Michael Cole and Wade Barrett to pull out their cell phones and record. I'm not really sure, but it looked kind of indie, kind of fun. And you know what? Yeah, the promo was good. It was a really hot crowd, but I kind of knew they were going to go to the whole thing about the RKO being the most deadly 3 letters and all that. Randy would do anything. Cody would do anything. I could kind of predict the promo. It was still fun to see it in front of the crowd. It was actually even more interesting to see it with the perfect audio, but the fan footage. I guess I'm impressed with their creativity under fire. Not so impressed with the fact that their entire setup just crashed. Speaking of the hot crowd, I was surprised when all of a sudden there was like crickets for Zelina Vega's entrance. I thought maybe, are they only interested in the stars? Are they not interested in the women's matches? But no, they just didn't like Zelina Vega. In fact, they were actively cheering for the heel Julia, and Julia won. Yeah, the first of the 3 title matches. So we have a new Women's United States champion, Julia. The match was okay. It was good. And nice, clean victory for Julia. But was Zelina Vega just a transitional champion to get from Chelsea Green to Julia because they're both heels, even though everyone loves Chelsea, I guess. But this crowd definitely was not behind Zelina. It's not the most exciting title run that she had. Maybe she'll have another one in the future. Maybe with the Women's Intercontinental, they put her back on Raw. But yeah, this was definitely not Zelina Vega's night. This was not her crowd, and congratulations to Julia. The second title match was the Wyatt Six versus the Street Profits. Of course, there was interference, disqualification. hopefully they'll do another match soon without a DQ finish. It was fun. It was obviously a cool entrance in that place for the Wyatt Six, but they could have done better. As for the third title match, there was no title change, but I even said in the previous video, I was definitely thinking there was going to be a cash-in or maybe like a cash-in attempt, and I couldn't see how the attempt would be stopped. But yeah, there was a cash-in. First of all, the match before the cash-in was actually quite good. Nia and Tiffany, they really put on good matches, especially on TV. There was a few times where it almost looked like Tiffany was down, Nia was down. Tiffany was losing at first. She eventually gets back up. At one point, they're both sort of down, but they just managed to get up, hanging on. And then Naomi comes in, and there's the classic thing they did with Damian Priest, like the referee, are you sure you want to catch? They're like struggling for the briefcase, and that small break was all Tiffany Stratton needed to take out Naomi, put Nia on top of her, and then with the match continued. So that took out that threat. Match continued to go on, and eventually Stratton put Nia through 3 tables, and that was it. Count of 10, and still they are really booking Tiffany Stratton strong. I mean, I think there might be a cash-in at SummerSlam, maybe if she loses to Jade. Spoiler alert as to what happened the next night, but if you're watching this, you've probably seen it all. Yeah. This was a really good match. Nia and Tiffany have great matches. It was always sort of like, hinted that they're always DQs, but the last few matches have been really good. This was actually an excellent match to have. And again, they're really booking Tiffany Stratton strong. If she loses, at least her title reign lasted through Nia Jax a couple of times. It lasted through Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, even if it ends at SummerSlam or with a cash-in. Great match. Ron Killings getting taken out by Aleister Black after cutting a brief promo in the ring saying he wanted Cena and a segment backstage. It's good further setup for, I don't know, maybe a feud with Aleister Black or Damian Priest versus Aleister Black, or maybe Killings and Priest. I'm not sure. I just do find it amusing whenever somebody flies halfway across the world for a run-in and like one backstage segment, or just one or the other. I mean, we did have a backstage segment with Charlotte, Flair, and Alexa Bliss, but of course that could have easily been taped in the US at the previous show, and they just aired it here. Still though, I mean, I guess they have to come along for the whole press junket and everything too, so it was fun. Andrade and Rey Fenix versus DIY. Good match, enjoyable match. I think people are just waiting though. The team of Andrade and Rey Fenix might change if his brother Penta ends up on SmackDown or he ends up on Raw. I think people are still waiting for that, but still was a fun match to have on the card. These were my assorted thoughts on the June 27th, 2025 WWE Smackdown from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Did you agree with my assorted thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Follow at Silo Voice Wrestling on Facebook and Instagram, at Silo Wrestling on X, and me at Jason C. McLean on X and Instagram. And jasoncmclean.bsky.social on Bluesky. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications to get all my wrestling hot takes, cold takes, simmering takes, wrestling opinion pieces, WWE Premium Live Event prediction and review videos like my review of Night of Champions, which is coming right up, and assorted thoughts on Raw and SmackDown. I'm going to record the next 2 videos, and I'll catch you in the next ones. Until then, for Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean.